Alumni office. I am going to be joined here in a moment by one of our graduating seniors. This would have been commencement week. So with the pandemic, we've sort of tweaked things a little bit, but we are still really excited to talk to our seniors and to celebrate our seniors. So, hey Praneeth, how are
Hey,
you?
good, doing well. How are you?
Good. Thanks for joining us. So, we'll do introductions here. I'm Amanda James. I work in the UofL Alumni Relations office. Um, as some of you may know, we have some staff who are on campus, but for the most part, staff is working from home. For the semester, students' classes have moved remotely. So you all wrapped up, and we'll have you talk about that, Praneeth, here in a second. Wrapped up the semester with remote learning. All summer classes have moved to online, so there are no in-person on campus classes this summer. And then the other thing that I will note, if anyone is interested about how U of L is handling this or any of the research going on, any of that, you can go to louisville.edu/coronavirus. But enough about me and all of that. We are here to celebrate one of our U of L seniors who is graduating. So Praneeth, I want to hand it over to you to introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about where you're from, what you've been involved in academically, as well as outside of the classroom while you've been at U of L.
All right. Well, my name is Praneeth Goli. I'm a graduating senior. I'm graduating out of the Department of Chemistry. I also had minors in biology and philosophy. And I had a great 4 years at the University of Louisville. I'm actually, I consider myself a Louisville native, even though I moved here at the age of 5 from Colorado, where I was born.
Okay.
And this is the place that I grew up in. And when I was choosing to go to college, U of L, I was very grateful that U of L offered me a great scholarship, and I was able
Mm-hmm.
to attend here on a full ride. And one of the big uh, reasons I came to Louisville is because I wanted to do a lot of different community work. I wanted to
Mm-hmm.
explore what it meant to try to solve problems for those that are really expecting change. Um, and I couldn't find a thing. The best place to start, I thought, would be in the place that I know,
Yeah.
that I have a personal connection to. That's why, I chose partly to stay at U of L. I started, and I did a number of different things, but I'll talk about the community work first because
Yeah.
that's more most relevant right now. I started doing something in my freshman year, and I very quickly realized that I have a lot to learn. So, which, and I think that's good because, anybody that wants to start doing something, I encourage them to start early because
Mm-hmm.
no matter what, you'll always figure out that you need to learn something new or you need to improve a certain skills. And the earlier you start, the more time you have. And one of the main reasons why I've been successful in that space is because my hometown embraced me, and I don't think that I would have had the same opportunity, to mess up or for people to have belief in me,
Mm-hmm.
unless I started here in Louisville. So that's been really amazing. And from all that I've learned, I think I've learned a lot of skills, and I've gotten a lot better at what I do. But I've also grown very close to Louisville. I'm very, I want to come back here. I want to stay here. I don't know how things are going to play out, but um, I'm very connected to this city now, more so than I was before. And again, Louisville is my hometown. So it's great, through service, you can connect so deeply to, the city, your community, and that's something really beautiful. Outside of that, I've done a lot of research in regenerative medicine, trying to find a better way to treat diabetes, trying to restore your body's natural capability to produce insulin. It's been really interesting. It's been really cool. I was grateful enough to be supported by UofL my first 2 years doing really incredible research downtown at the medical school. And then I transitioned to do research at Harvard Medical School in Boston,
Mm-hmm.
and at a institute there called the Joslin Diabetes Center. And they are the number one diabetes research center in the world. Uh, they were the
Wow.
they were the first research center to be focused solely on diabetes in the early 1900s, and and that's been incredible. And in fact, the funny thing is, one of my mentors there is this amazingly huge scientist who is a Louisville native, and
Wow.
yeah, at Seneca High School, and he graduated again from the chemistry department at U of L in 1964,
That's
and
awesome.
and U of L Medical School in 1968. And he is he is almost larger than life in science, in modern science. So yeah, and he's also a fantastic guy. He takes really good care of me. So um, it's funny how things come around. So
That
you
warms my heart. And as obviously someone who works with alumni, I just want to shout that out really for any of our graduating students or graduates that, we have a huge population of alumni who are here in Louisville. But we also have alumni who are all over the country and really all over the world as well. So I do encourage, especially those of you who are graduating, to connect with those alumni, because I think, like you said, the example you gave, you all have been working together and he's been a great resource to you. So
yeah, yeah.
I encourage any students or graduating students to use those alumni connections. That's awesome.
And it's funny because he always points it out. He always
I love
out
that.
we're from the same place, and it's great. It really is. There's something really cool and fun about this city. And I think it's in the people first before anything else. And when I interact with him, and he's been away from Louisville since he was in his late 20s. He's not
Wow.
lived in Louisville since then.
Mm-hmm.
Um, his wife is also she also went to the University of Louisville, and they're both so fantastic. They have such great character, and um, and it's really funny how that ended up working out. But
I love
yeah,
that. So I'm going to jump ahead a little bit, Praneeth, but
yeah.
you're graduating and you've talked about how you've done some research in Boston. What do you know what's next for you, or what are you thinking might be next for you?
Yeah, so I'm spending another year in Boston. I've got this
Mm-hmm.
one very exciting research project that I need to wrap up and publish.
Okay.
And I think from then, pretty much trying to not necessarily wipe my slate clean, but start over with medical school and try to put
Mm-hmm.
together what exactly I want to focus on going into the future. I have a number of different skill sets, but one thing that I learned in college is that life can be pretty crazy, and you always want to keep a little bit of time for yourself. And I think
Yes.
I was a workaholic to the extreme in college,
Mm-hmm.
and I did other stuff too. But even entertaining your friends can seem like work when you have
Yeah.
almost no time for yourself. So
Yeah.
I have to be more balanced. So um, I've got to kind of figure out what exactly I want to focus on for the next stage of my life. But
Yeah.
medical school and trying to put together some sort of career and impact with that. So yeah, but next year immediately I'll be in Boston. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, out of curiosity, because as we talked about earlier, the semester sort of ended pretty abruptly because students were on spring break when classes ended up going remote. Are you in Louisville right now? Are you in Boston right now? Or where have you spent your time since all that started?
Yeah, I'm still in Louisville.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm staying at well, I have a place in the retreat, but I'm mostly
Hmm.
staying at home, at my
Yeah.
parents' house. Weather's been fantastic here, so nothing really to complain
Yes.
about that. But yes, I've been in Louisville since spring break. Yeah, end of
Okay.
yep.
Yeah. And then how was, just out of curiosity, how was that end of the semester for you and sort of knowing that was your last hurrah, so to speak, at U of L?
Yeah.
Sort of what were your feelings on all that? How did it play out for you?
Oh, we're all sad. I mean, I don't know if there's
Yeah.
anyone that's not really sad. It's tough because for a lot of graduating seniors, we still have to go to school. We still have classes. Sometimes we have really difficult classes because
Yes.
we need to finish them up, finish up whatever the end of our degree is, and those are always 400, 500, 600 level courses.
Mm-hmm.
So the last few months of college are really the time that we leave to, unwind.
Yes.
And we didn't get that at all.
Yeah.
March, April, May. Um, I don't know when we will really be able to socialize again, but it's been difficult, definitely, in that aspect. For me personally, I kind of needed this. I have difficulty slowing down, so this is kind of
This made you slow down.
yeah, this kind of forced me to do that, I really needed this time uh, to kind of work on myself,
Mm-hmm.
and I probably should have done that 2 years ago, but this is and then that it's been unexpectedly good. So not everything is negative, and I also think for us, a lot of us are going to go out into our careers, and we're just going to be pulled around by those forces for a while. It's
Mm-hmm.
kind of nice to be around family for an extended period of time.
Yes.
So some positives are still there, but obviously all of us are kind of we're upset that we can't enjoy the last few months with our friends, and we don't know when we'll be socializing again.
Yes. I know it breaks my heart. Oh, I
Yeah,
hate it for you
sure.
all. We just have a couple more minutes. If anyone does have any questions for Praneeth, feel free to leave those in the comments. But you've given, I think, some great advice, whether you know it or not today, Praneeth. But
Yeah,
looking back and thinking of yourself 4 years ago when you were coming into U of L and you had made that college decision and you decided to stay here in Louisville, what advice would you give other new students, perhaps ones who are coming in the fall, about making the most of their experience, or any tips or suggestions as
yeah.
those Cardinals get started?
If there's one thing that I can say is that it's to not be undeterred. It's to be undeterred. There were so many times where I really felt like things were not working out, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And whenever you really try to shoot for the stars, it's not going to work out just like you want it to, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But, if you really believe in yourself, and it can be quite hard. I mean, you know, it's hard to believe in yourself. But when you just stick to the path, and you really try to figure out why things are not working out, and you try to fix those things, you'll really surprise yourself. When I came in as a freshman, I had no idea. I did not expect any of this. In fact, I had expected something, and that ended up being a lot less than what actually happened.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all to my surprise. At the same time, there's other things that I didn't expect would happen in the last 4 years. Really bad things, good things. Things get thrown at you in life, and I would say, you just have to sometimes, put the negative aside, and figure out what went wrong and keep going forward and have that belief that things will work out. I mean, you have to change something if things are not working out. I mean, you can't just keep going blindly, but when things work out, you'll surprise yourself. And if I had not, sometimes blindly just, thought I still have to go forward, I still have to keep pushing forward, then I would have stopped a long time ago. And I wouldn't have had the chance to surprise myself. So I think that's the main thing I could say to anyone in college, not just, U of L students.
Mm-hmm.
Be undeterred.
I love that. Thanks for sharing that. So I know we talked about you're stuck at home. Graduation would have been this weekend. Do you have any little celebrations that you're going to do with your family or anything like that?
Yeah, my sister baked me a cake, a graduation cake.
Oh,
yeah.
Good. Good.
I'm hoping that we I'm hoping that we're okay to socialize at least a little bit in June and July.
Yeah.
Because we're all still in town, but I don't know. I mean, we'll see. I'm hoping
we will see.
September we'll actually get to have that.
Me too.
Then I think that would be fantastic. But yeah, small things with family actually count a lot, and I'm able to enjoy that, and I'm grateful for that. So yes, I'll try to figure something out how to celebrate this Saturday.
Good. You should. I feel like the hard part is, and you talked about December, and for those who are joining us, the plan as of now is to have a regular commencement ceremony in December for our May graduates. But I always feel like those types of things bring a lot of closure. And like you were talking about,
Yeah.
You can't even really see your friends and stuff right now. So it's hard to put like that final end on that chapter when you don't have that. So I hope that your cake and other things will allow you to have a little bit of closure.
Yeah. Yeah, at least a little bit. But yes, true. I'm hoping that December works out because that would be fantastic.
Me too. And for you, and then for anyone else who may tune in and watch this, U of L will be doing some virtual stuff. Obviously, we know it's not the same, but we will do some virtual things this weekend. I hope I get the website right, but it's ufl.edu/hereandbeyond2020. And we'll start sharing all sorts of stuff at 10 a.m. on Saturday. So it's definitely not the same. We all recognize that, but hopefully it's a little way that we can celebrate the seniors and all this amazing stuff you have done. And Praneeth, you have done research and you've done stuff in the community and in the classroom and have been really an exemplary student for our current students and for other students to look towards. So I know personally, I am really excited to see whatever you may do in the future and see how all your research ends up and all your community work. So I just thank you for spending some time with us today and sharing your story and your advice and all of your experiences with our fans on Instagram. And we will share this on YouTube afterwards if anyone wants to watch back. So I'll share that with you as well.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Praneeth. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. And
yes. Go Cards. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.